From the get-go tonight in the battleground state of Ohio, the Democratic debate revolved around one issue the candidates all agree on.
In my judgment, Trump is the most corrupt president in the history of this country.
The most corrupt president in modern history, and I think all of our history.
He is indeed the most corrupt and unpatriotic president we have ever had.
That is the urgency of impeaching President Donald Trump.
Every candidate here is more decent, more coherent, and more patriotic than the criminal in the White House.
But tonight, former Vice President Joe Biden also found himself on the defensive.
My son did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong. I carried out the policy of the United States government in rooting out corruption in Ukraine.
Biden treated President Trump's recent attacks on him and his son.
Biden and his son are stone cold crooked.
Almost as a badge of honor.
He doesn't want me to be the candidate. He's going after me because he knows if I get the nomination, I will beat him like a drum.
To be clear, there's no proof to support Trump's claim that Biden used his post as vice president to enrich his son, or that Biden shaped U.S. foreign policy to advance his son's interests.
By the way, whatever happened to Hunter? Where the hell is he?
But Trump continues to attack him relentlessly.
Where's Hunter?
Where is Hunter?
Where is Hunter?
He's right here.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm working and I'm living my life.
President Trump says you're in hiding.
Hiding in plain sight, I guess. Yeah. No, not at all. Not at all.
Today, in an exclusive interview with ABC's Amy Robach, Hunter Biden was also on the defensive.
I want to get to the heart of it. Did you and your father ever discuss Ukraine?
No. As I said, the only time was after a news account, and it wasn't a discussion in any way. There's no but to this. No, we never did.
Your dad said, I hope you know what you're doing.
I hope you know what you're doing.
I do?
And I said, I do. And that was literally the end of our discussion.
Biden's younger son reportedly made $50,000 a month as a board member of the Ukrainian gas company Burisma. At the time, his father was the Obama administration's point person on Ukraine.
What were your qualifications to be on the board of Burisma?
Well, I was vice chairman of the board of Amtrak for 5 years. I was the chairman of the board of the UN World Food Program. I was a lawyer for Boies Schiller Flexner, one of the most prestigious law firms in the world.
In the list that you gave me of the reasons why you're on that board, you did not list the fact that you were the son of the vice president.
Yeah, no.
What role do you think that played?
I think that it is impossible for me to be on any of the boards that I just mentioned without saying that I'm the son of the Vice President of the United States.
If your last name wasn't Biden, do you think you would have been asked to be on the board of Burisma?
I don't know. I don't know. Probably not. I don't think that there's a lot of things that would have happened in my life that if my last name wasn't Biden. What I regret is not taking into account that there would be a Rudy Giuliani and a president of the United States that would be listening to this ridiculous conspiracy idea.
You never thought, this might not look right.
You know what? I'm a human. And you know what? Did I make a mistake? Well, maybe in the grand scheme of things, yeah. But did I make a mistake based upon some unethical lapse? Absolutely not.
My son's statement speaks for itself. I did my job. I never discussed a single thing with my son about anything having to do with Ukraine. No one has indicated I have. We've always kept everything separate. Even when my son was the Attorney General of the state of Delaware, we never discussed anything. So there'd be no potential conflict.
Tonight's debate comes at a vulnerable moment for Biden. Recent polls show him still leading the field, but losing ground to Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren.
There is a new frontrunner in town, and it is Elizabeth Warren. It was obvious from the start of this debate. She is now the center of attention. It wasn't just Joe Biden taking heat. In fact, most of the attention was on Elizabeth Warren, her policies, her plans.
I have a plan to fix that.
Your signature, Senator, is to have a plan for everything, except this.
Tonight, her rivals pressed her on how she would pay for her dramatic overhaul of the healthcare system.
Medicare for all is the gold standard. It is the way we get healthcare coverage for every single American.
Warren and Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders advocate Medicare for all, doing away with private health insurance and replacing it with government-sponsored health care.
Costs are going to go up for the wealthy. They're going to go up for big corporations. They will not go up for middle-class families, and I will not sign a bill into law that raises their costs, because costs are what people care about.
I don't think the American people are wrong when they say that what they want is a choice.
Sanders has made it clear he would raise taxes to pay for this huge new entitlement. Warren has not said how she'd pay for it.
And I think we owe it to the American people to tell them where we're going to send the invoice.
Elizabeth Warren has been asked this question in virtually every debate and in multiple interviews. She does not want to answer the question about how she would pay for her Medicare for All plan.
Tonight, Warren also took heat over her plan to tax ultra-millionaires, households with incomes of $50 million and higher, to pay for early childhood education.
Sometimes I think that Senator Warren is more focused on being punitive or pitting some part of the country against the other, instead of lifting people up.
Why does everyone else on this stage think it is more important to protect billionaires than it is to invest in an entire generation of Americans?
Thank you, Senator Warren. But I want to give a reality check here to Elizabeth, because no one on this stage wants to protect billionaires. Not even the billionaire wants to protect billionaires. We just have different approaches. Your idea is not the only idea.
Warren may be getting an unintended boost from Sanders, who recently suffered a heart attack in Las Vegas, forcing him to stop campaigning for a few days. This debate was his first big event back on the trail.
And we are going to be mounting a vigorous campaign all over this country. That is how I think I can reassure the American people. And I'm so happy to be back here with you this evening.
Are your doctors okay with that?
This weekend, Sanders sat down with ABC's Jonathan Karl. Sanders insisted that at no point has he considered dropping out of this race because of his health.
So let me ask you, you and Elizabeth Warren have pretty close to identical positions on the big issues. What do you say to those who say they would pick her because she's 8 years younger than you, she didn't just come through this, didn't just have a heart attack, and look, in the positions, you're pretty much the same.
Everybody, every American is going to make his or her own choice about the candidate that they want. And Elizabeth Warren has been a friend of mine for some 25 years. And I think she is a very, very good senator. But there are differences between Elizabeth and myself.
Tonight, Sanders wasn't the only candidate to face a health question. Biden and Warren did too, based on their age. Both are in their 70s.
And I will release my medical records, as I have 21 years of my tax records, which no one else on this stage has done, so that you can have full transparency as to my health and what I am doing.
I will outwork, outorganize, and outlast anyone, and that includes Donald Trump, Mike Pence, or whoever the Republicans get stuck with.
One of the younger candidates on stage, 38-year-old Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard, weighed in too. Gabbard is also an Army Reserve major.
It's not fair to ask these three about their health and their fitness to serve as president, but not every other one of us. I am grateful to have been trained very well by the Army and do my best to stay in shape. But here's the real question I believe you should be asking is, who is fit to serve as our commander-in-chief?
On Syria, there was broad agreement that the current commander-in-chief made a huge mistake by failing to stop Turkey from attacking our allies, the Kurds.
Because we have an erratic, crazy president who knows not a damn thing about foreign policy and operates out of fear for his own reelection.
In his answer, Biden appeared to gesture at Bernie Sanders.
What does the president do? He says, I believe Vladimir Putin. I believe Vladimir Putin. I don't believe our intelligence community.
Suggesting I'm Vladimir Putin.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Post-debate, Sanders was the first to make news with the announcement that this weekend in Queens, he'll get the endorsement of Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
There is probably no more coveted endorsement in Democratic politics, at least among elected officials these days, than Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Getting this for Bernie Sanders at this moment is a huge potential boost.
While there are sharp policy differences and distinct personal differences, these Democrats have plenty of common ground.
About a third of the folks on stage are not necessarily going to make the next debate. So I think you can start to cross off some names in the foreseeable future.
The question for Democratic voters, who among them is likely to go the distance? I'm David Wright for Nightline in New York.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.